My Hero Academia chapter 323 just came out, and honestly a lot of people have some mixed feelings about it. Some people say it was a pretty mid chapter, some people say it was a pretty good chapter, and meanwhile I thought about something that probably a lot of you haven't thought about. Horikoshi is planting the seed and basically trying to make everything ready to reveal the UA traitor and give an all-out battle. Let me break it all down after reviewing this awesome chapter and break it all down for you. So let's kick off. But before I get into it, I want to remind you this is a spoiler video, so if you're not caught up with the manga, proceed with your own caution, you have been warned. And if you enjoy my content, feel free to join the channel or feel free to thumbs up this video. Both is a good option. Anyway, let's kick off. So the chapter basically opens up with a flashback of Principal Nezu talking to the Class 1A students before they go and hatch DEKU and save him. Ida then remembers Principal Nezu talk about how they want to show everyone the security system of the UA barrier and the UA school, and Ida basically replies to Principal Nezu by saying like if they bring DEKU back then it will be enough to calm down the situation. But Principal Nezu disagrees and says that the issue is bigger than that. DEKU is the hero's trump card. He's like the most important target right now, for the villains and for the heroes as well. So keeping him sheltered without proper security would pose a greater risk to everyone. He compares the security level of UA to that of Tartarus and says that after the gate was destroyed by Shigaraki at the beginning of the school year, he worked hard to improve it. Now the UA barrier is not only a barrier, it makes UA move. So it's like a robot type of thing. The campus, to be exact, have been divided into several parts and areas. All of them are connected to motorized elevator-like devices. If any sign of invasion or threat is detected, all those areas will be transported to an underground shelter, and from then they can follow various underground routes. So to basically explain it and give it to you an example of how this works, basically, let's say I am Shigaraki and I try to touch the barrier. Whenever I touch it or I get close to it, a sensor will detect my move and basically move the whole UA underground, making a lot of time and saving a lot of time for the citizens to move underground and basically connect all the routes across Japan. Kaminari then interrupts and says that this sounds like something straight out of a robot anime or something. And Nezu goes on to explain it furthermore. He says the underground of the whole area around UA has been covered with 3,000 layers of fortified metal plates. Any abnormality in at least one of them activates the security system and the elevators. You might be asking yourself, why there's like 3,000 layers? Well, basically that's to give more time for the citizens and the students to evacuate, since Shigaraki can use decay and he can basically decay a lot of things, so it will take him some time to decay 3,000 metal plates. Not only that, but also other schools than UA have also improvised the system that the UA barrier is using. Tokiyami says that the metal plate's structure seems specially designed to deal with Shigaraki's awakened quirk, which spreads into further surfaces. He asks why the director had already started to set up this plan even before the cultural festival, when there was no such available information about his quirk, and basically Principal Nezu says that he just follows his instinct. Basically, I think what was Principal Nezu's plan after UA got basically attacked, he wanted to have this thing removed. I think there is a theory or something that Principal Nezu was all for one puppet or something, and he kind of experimented with him, similar to Rocket in the Marvel universe. So I think that would be really interesting if we see a parallel or something. Maybe we will get to see maybe the Principal Nezu is the UA traitor. We don't know. It's just a really theory or something. So anyway, basically Principal Nezu says that he follows his instinct, and he says even if there's anything that feels unnecessary or something, it can be resolved as a plan to delay something. So that's really interesting. The chapter then cuts back to the present, and then we see a shot of Deku's mom, Bakugo's mom, Jiro's parents, Eri in the dorms with Class 1B, and Kota with Ragdoll are all shown, all of them very concerned. Number 13 comments and says that some people were even convinced by the principal's speech, but not all of them. It kind of reminds me in the real world, where basically someone talks about the vaccine or the coronavirus or something, and some people like get convinced by it, and other like huge people, like a lot amount of people just says, I don't believe this, or I'm not into this. So I think that's kind of like gives like a similar vibe or something. So anyway, we then see President Mike's like basically shouting at people and talking with them and arguing with them. But Best Genius interrupts him, and he tries to explain to the citizens that Deku is like the trump card for the heroes and he's the villain's main target. But they like put him into action to try to capture the villains, but that didn't work. And he says and asks like the citizens to let Midoriya stay in UA until he's ready to fight once again. The civilians gets like much more angry, and they say like, this chaos was all done by you heroes, so why should we believe you? And they're like started to argue and get more angry. Uraraka then takes the spot and basically snatched the mic from Best Genius and goes to the UA rooftops and starts talking to the citizens and tells them that Deku was already going to leave alone. And look at him, and look how he has become after holding the whole burden on his back. And look like just like how he become, like how does he looks like. The citizens look at Deku and they're like really terrified by like Law's shape on his hands and feet, and they're like really terrified by it. Uraraka then says that Deku is the one who wants to change the current situation to the most, and he kept moving forward for other people's sake even though he knew he could get attacked at any moment. So she's trying to basically tells them like, Deku put his life on the line while you guys don't. You guys were sitting on your knees and basically were just like complaining all the time. So shut up. I think that's basically like what Uraraka was trying to say. Anyway, the giant woman that Deku saved back in chapter 310, she looks and she recognizes Deku immediately. Uraraka continues shouting and talking with the people, saying that having a special power doesn't make Deku special or anything. Bakugo then appears by Midoriya's side, saying to the civilians desperately, rioting while ignoring the security system is a perfect example of something Deku can't handle by himself and needs to leave it to the others. It cuts to an internal monologue from Nezu, acknowledging that taking the first step is always hard, but he thinks that this first step is the lead to give birth to more of like people and heroes that will surpass All Might. And the end of the chapter basically shows Uraraka screaming in the rain. And that's how this chapter ends. Now, I've seen a lot of mixed reactions on this chapter, especially people were saying it's like pretty mid, it doesn't have a lot of things, it's like it rarely have any things, but let me break it down for you. Why this chapter was made? Why did Horikoshi go with this side? What Horikoshi is basically trying to do, he basically like showed you in the first pages of this chapter that like all of Class 1A were there when the whole security system, the UA security system, was revealed. So if the UA trader is one of Class 1A, let's say it's Aoyama, let's say it's Uraraka, Kaminari, Kirishima, whoever it is, it will get revealed in those next chapters. What basically Horikoshi is trying to show us is that now all of Class 1A knows about the whole security system of UA. Not only that, like probably also the citizens know about that. So if a villain, for example, is hiding between them, and I'm sure there is, or let's say one of Class 1A is the traitor, then it will get revealed and basically he will leak all the information to All For One, and basically they will find the best route to attack 1A or attack the UA school, which is honestly like really nice and really insane. When I read this chapter like 3 times, and the first time I read it I was like, why the chapter ended up like that? Why was it like so short? There wasn't a lot of action going on. Like, yes, we see Bakugo's mom, we see the reaction people and stuff, but why was it set up like this? I believe 100%, and take me on my words when I say this, in the next chapters we are going to see the UA like trader getting revealed. We will also like see the villains attack, maybe Shigaraki will attack, like we will see the whole UA school surrounded by the villains, which will be like really insane. Imagine like an all-out battle between Shigaraki and the heroes and everyone, and basically like a not 100% healed Deku, because we know how tired Deku is. Like he was standing there just like the whole time, so he's pretty tired, like he haven't got enough rest. So I'm 100% sure that Deku will, or like the whole UA school is going to get attacked by the villains, and the UA trader is going to get revealed. Maybe like after Uraraka finishes her talk or something, the UA trader will basically snag the mic out of Uraraka and starts like talking. Maybe it will be Aoyama. Since, you know, she's an invisible girl, she can probably like do that. Or let's say if Uraraka was, for example, the UA trader, then a similar thing could happen. Anyway, this is how I think the next chapter is going to be. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you enjoy my content, feel free to join the channel or thumbs up this video. Let's reach to 2,000. I think that's a really nice number, and I think we can reach it very easy. So if you enjoy my content and you want to see more of it, daily or weekly, feel free to join this channel. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I'll see you all next time.